Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3. Let's take a look at your leading stories this evening. First up, Parliament has appointed Advocate Norman Arendse SC to lead evidence in the ad hoc committee that has been set up to investigate allegations of threats to national security.
We are going to contest all the ones in the 2026 local government. We are going to contest to win.
Former Umkhonto weSizwe Party Secretary General Floyd Shivambu has announced the formation of a new political organization called the Africa Maibuye Movement.
Well, we can describe Ubaba Mahlangu as a very humble man, a man with humility.
And the family of the late Ambassador Mninwa Mahlangu says it is all systems go ahead of his funeral in Middelburg in Mpumalanga tomorrow. We bring you the latest news in perspective. Good evening and welcome to Prime News on SABC 3. My name is Beki Mutumomulete. Tonight we bring you the headlines that define our world. With that said, here are your top stories. Parliament's ad hoc committee probing allegations of threats to national security made by the KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi will know next week when its oral hearings will begin. The committee was hoping Mkhwanazi would be the first witness, but that hope appears to be dashed for now, as Mkhwanazi has indicated that he will be consulting with the Madlanga Judicial Commission of Inquiry until the 24th of September.
The committee wants to get its work going after it appointed 3 evidence leaders. Renowned lawyer, Advocate Norman Arendse SC, will lead the committee, supported by Advocate Lerato Zikalala and Advocate Maria Mokhwetsi. The evidence leaders interviewed National Commissioner Fani Masemula on Friday, and they are hoping to interview Mkhwanazi in about 2 weeks.
Exchanging statements. Obviously, we're not going to be wedded or bound by what they say in their statement, but it will be a useful starting point.
Lawmakers still want Mkhwanazi to be the first witness.
That the committee to allow him to continue with other engagement that he is already in with the commission until the 24th of September. That is the period that he may be available to come and appear before the committee.
Just check that we don't start with anyone else except General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. If it means we must negotiate time frames with the Commission of Inquiry chaired by Justice Madlanga, we are giving you that mandate.
Be told by Mkhwanazi what must happen, what must not happen. If we are looking for him, we have to find him. And if he's not going to make himself available, we are going to have to summon him. He's the one who started this mess.
The committee will meet again next week. Ulelani Philip, SABC News, Parliament.
Former Umkhonto weSizwe Party Secretary General Floyd Shivambu has announced the formation of a new political organization called the Africa Maibuye Movement. Shivambu, who is the party's president, made the announcement at a media briefing in Midrand, Johannesburg, after a nationwide consultation process that began in June. He says the new political party will contest the local government elections and the 2029 general elections.
We are going to contest all the ones in the 2026 local government. We are going to contest to win all the municipalities in 2026. We are going to contest to win the general elections in 2029. And we are not contesting for the sake of contesting. We're contesting with the aim, and we are going to win the elections in 2029.
The Mahlangu family says it has all systems go ahead of the funeral of the late Ambassador Mninwa Johannes Mahlangu in Middelburg in Mpumalanga tomorrow. The former chairperson of the National Council of Provinces and a long-serving diplomat passed away 2 weeks ago after a short illness. President Cyril Ramaphosa declared that Mahlangu will be honored with a special official funeral Category 2, which will entail ceremonial honors performed by the South African Police Service. Mahlangu was described as a selfless servant of the people.
Well, we can describe Ubaba Mahlangu as a very humble man, a man with humility, a selfless servant of the people. We first met, as I've indicated, in the first parliament in 1994, in the National Assembly.
He was a wonderful man, in the sense that he listened carefully before saying anything, and he had the sort of appreciation of everybody around him. He respected people, and that's the man I learned to know.
We are grateful that we have one of our own, an ambassador, Mr. Mninwa Mahlangu, who was an NCOP and also served America as an ambassador. Currently was working as an ambassador also in Kenya. We like to thank the family to give us such a great leader that served the country.
Welcome back to Prime News on 3. Eskom has published its 2025-26 summer outlook, saying it does not anticipate any load shedding during this period. The power utility gave an update on its operational performance during a media briefing at its head office at Megawatt Park in Johannesburg.
No load shedding planned from now until March next year, a reflection of work that's gone in to improve electricity supply. Electricity Minister Dr. Hosienzo Ramokgopa says they've ended structural load shedding with unplanned losses set to be kept below 15,000 megawatts.
Do we anticipate to be above 15,000? No. So if I had said that if we are below 15,000 there will be no load shedding, and I'm making the statement that do we anticipate to be above 15,000? No. So I'm saying there will not be load shedding in terms of our summer outlook.
He provided an assurance that electricity stability is better now than it was going into winter, but Eskom says there are still some challenges that remain, like load reduction, which they aim to eliminate within the next 12 to 18 months. Meanwhile, CEO Dan Marokane says the utility is planning for a single-digit tariff environment to support long-term sustainability while working to restore investor confidence through predictability and operational reliability.
Long-term, our sustainability will arise when we are able to exist as a business in a space where tariff increases are even low. So we are very clear around this. It's a single-digit tariff environment that we are planning for ourselves.
Eskom says it is now in the process of reviewing electricity pricing to balance its need for financial sustainability and consumers' need for affordability. Nosipho Debe, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Minister in the presidency, Khumbudzo Ntshavheni, says Cabinet has welcomed the announcement of the new train operating companies appointed to operate on the country's railway networks. Ntshavheni said these companies will operate a total of 41 routes and 6 corridors nationwide. The development forms part of South Africa's freight and logistics roadmap, as well as rail policy, which focuses on giving third-party access to the rail network.
Infrastructure manager estimates that the new train operating companies will carry an additional 20 million tons of freight per annum from the 2026-2027 financial year. This will supplement the Transnet freight rail, or TFR as is commonly known, forecasted volumes and contribute to government's target of increasing freight moved by rail to 200 million tons per annum by 2029. This development is also part of the progress Transnet is making towards becoming a more efficient and agile enterprise.
Meanwhile, Transnet has reported 1.9 billion rand in profit loss for the financial year ending March 2025. This is 74% lower than what was reported last year when it posted a loss of 7.3 billion. The logistics giant says the recovery plan is taking hold and yielding much improvement for the company.
Members of the board.
Transnet says its improvement is attributable to improved rail volumes. In this reporting period, rail volumes were 5.5% higher at 160.1 million tonnes from 151.7 million tonnes.
The tide is beginning to turn. Revenue is rising, losses are narrowing, and volumes are stabilizing. The foundations of recovery are taking hold. The strategy, people in the room today, the strategy is working.
Despite the improvements, the logistics giant is still faced with major debt burden that now sits at 144.7 billion rand.
Transnet's huge debt burden has placed a considerable strain on our financial health, as it hamstrings the ability of the company to generate the cash it needs to stay afloat.
Phillips is concerned about the impact of crime on Transnet's operations.
4.1 million tonnes lost due to cable theft, theft and vandalism, security incidents. As much as we have improved the security incidents, I have to appeal as a country. We have to work together.
Diabosito, SABC News, Johannesburg.
No day zero is looming for the water supply in Johannesburg. That's despite the city being on level 1 restrictions, as the demand for water remains higher than what can be supplied. Johannesburg Water says it is also moving fast on infrastructure replacement, with water loss costing the entity an astounding 3 billion rand.
Johannesburg Water says the city residents have nothing to worry about. The taps won't be running dry and the dams are almost full, but it's urged communities to use water sparingly.
Water restriction and why we're on level 1, because we know that the system, the demand overall, it's more than what the system can be able to provide, and we need to be able to implement this level 1 restriction, which real level 1 restriction, as much as there are things that we are dealing with on our side of really managing the demand, we also have expectation on the side of the customers around the issue of conserving water.
But water throttling will also remain, in particular in areas with exceedingly high demand and illegal connections.
Throttling, we do it responding to our daily assessment around the performance of the system. We look at those systems that are really consuming more than what we believe they should be consuming.
From the entity that the upcoming G20 summit will not be affected and plans are in place for any eventuality.
Our duty as a city to prepare for this massive event to come. So it means that we must try by all means that our network is very safe and all, be ready for any thing that might happen, for any alternative supply of services.
Well, the city says it's also investing 1.75 billion rand for refurbishing infrastructure during this financial year. Crisalda Lewis, SABC News in Johannesburg.
With us, the Northwest Government has established an ad hoc committee to investigate, amongst others, the conduct of all Ramotserimwilwa local municipal councillors in Zeerust. The committee has been given 60 days to conclude its investigations. This decision was communicated by the provincial government after a special council meeting attended by Premier Lazarus Mokhosi and Cooperative Governance MEC Johannesburg Mulapisi.
Premier Mokhosi and MEC Mulapisi arrived and found a heavy police presence. Workers have not been coming to work, since last week's alleged shooting incident between the private security of some councillors and security officers of a company contracted to the municipality. The MEC for Cooperative Governance, Johannesburg Mulapisi, says the ad hoc committee will also investigate the conduct of councillors who attended the meeting that deposed of the mayor.
There are allegations, like I said, of procurement of a security company without following your supply chain management processes. Who brought those people into the municipality? What processes were followed? There are specific allegations against the speaker. We are also going to investigate that.
Forum for Service Deliveries councillors walked out of the special council meeting, arguing that standing rules were not followed when the notice for the meeting was issued. The party has criticized the provincial government's intervention, while the DA welcomes it.
We don't have a mayor because Mubarak is no longer a mayor, because still this matter is still at the court. So you tell me because he submitted their document to court, he must come here to become a councillor. It can't.
We welcome the decision that has been taken today by Cocter and by the Premier as well. We feel that it is a bit late, but never late than never. We are now just hoping that law enforcement can now ensure that the safety of the community as well as the staff is now taken fully into account.
Mulapisi also says that Napizo is the legitimate mayor, adding that the council meeting that removed her was unlawful. Tabiso Moss, SABC News, Zerast.
Eastern Cape Agriculture MEC Nongceba Konsiwe says increasing food production in rural areas is potentially changing the economic outlook of the province. Konsiwe was addressing the Smallholder Farmers Agricultural Show in Mthatha. Emerging farmers in attendance raised concerns about unequal commercial opportunities and urged government to introduce inclusive commercial policies.
Local farmers from different parts of the OR Tambo region showcasing their quality and fresh produce. The show is traditionally focusing on product quality, market access, and fostering commercial opportunities for smallholder farmers.
We want to encourage them and assist them with different institutions to get market for them, because we know that especially vegetable, once it is taken away, it rots and it becomes a waste.
Small-scale farmers want government to open trade market doors for the emerging commercial farmers. We are producing vegetables, seedlings, rabbits, maize, sweet potatoes, and also have rabbits. There are many challenges ranging from water scarcity, market. Big retail stores do not want to take our produce, but they prefer produce from other provinces.
Our entity, SRDA, is here to assist them in terms of the blended finance if they so wish to do so. So we are happy that those that are at school will come out of schools having skills of entrepreneurship and become business people.
Farmers have been urged to venture into continental and international market. Water scarcity was raised as a major concern to emerging rural farmers. Kululeko Nyembezi, SABC News, Mthatha.
In your sporting news, we start off with a little pitch action. South Africa have taken a giant step towards qualifying for the FIFA World Cup in the USA, Mexico and Canada. Bafana beat Lesotho 3-0 in a Group C encounter at the Free State Stadium in Bloemfontein this evening. Muhau Nkota, Lyle Foster and Oswin Apollos scored the crucial goals for Bafana. Coach Hugo Broos's team is currently on top of the group with 16 points after 7 matches. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Ofikwa police wahlaba ngaphakathi eboxini thuba lomzantsi Afrika bayiphakamisa nakubuha ukota wena ngamlatheli yakhawulezisa lento wathi buha ukota kanti ke ndiyekeni bafana ke bethonga umoya ndilibonisa imfihlo endizenayo yajayiva lana
Foster to Muhau Nkota, perhaps for number 2, he puts it across. Modiba from the edge of the box, stings the palms, Lyle Foster scores! From the theatre of dreams to the city of roses, Lyle Foster truly knows his way around the goal.
ukuba ngahle bobabini ziforostans ibhola kuMzantsi Afrika bayitsheni labizwa notheni neli bakhawuleza amanqaku wakhawuleza noBruce oma ngenyawo wathi hayi ke ngoku kugqityiwe.
It is now time for us to take a first-hand gaze of what is happening in our southern skies through the lens of our expert weather team. Your forecast is coming up next.
A warm welcome to the weather desk. Take a look at our weather for tonight into tomorrow. Partly cloudy conditions expected, especially for the central as well as the eastern parts of the country, with isolated showers and thunder showers covering KwaZulu-Natal, the eastern half of the Eastern Cape, into the eastern parts of Free State, as well as most parts of the south coast into the evening. For tomorrow, we're expecting isolated to a scattered chance of rain and showers and thunder showers into the northeastern parts, which will cover Limpopo, into the eastern parts of the northwest, the Free State, scattered mainly over KwaZulu-Natal into the southern parts of Mpumalanga, as well as the eastern parts of the Free State. For most parts of the east coast of the Eastern Cape, can expect a 30% chance of showers and rain. For tonight, the South African Weather Service has issued a warning for damaging winds that are expected over the central interior. It is a yellow level 1 of medium likelihood of minor impacts, which might also result in some possibility of fires and runaway fires over these areas, as we also have a high fire danger warning for these areas, especially in the northwest, the northern parts of the Northern Cape, into the southern parts of Gauteng, as well as parts of Mpumalanga and the northern parts of KwaZulu-Natal. A yellow level 1 warning for severe thunderstorms has been issued for tomorrow, but this is mainly for the western parts of KwaZulu-Natal, with a high fire danger warning for most parts of the western areas of Limpopo. These conditions may result in heavy downpours that lead to localized flooding, a possibility of damaging winds, as well as a possibility of hail over the western parts of KwaZulu-Natal. Let's take a look at our overnight temperatures. Will be cold in Sutherland with a minimum of 210 in Beaufort West, 11 in De Aar, and Vryburg will reach a minimum of 5 degrees this evening. For tomorrow, temperatures are expected to be warm for the northeastern parts, hot in some places in the eastern areas of Limpopo. Palabora peaking at 32 degrees, 26 in Bombela. Once you be in Pretoria, you can expect a maximum of 29 degrees into the afternoon. For the southwestern parts, cool temperatures expected. Sutherland peaking at 19 degrees, 21 is your maximum rather in Worcester. Once you get to Vredendal, you can expect a maximum of 23 degrees. In Cape Town, will be cool at a maximum of 18 degrees. Let's take a look at our weather outlook into Sunday. Isolated showers and thunder showers expected mainly in the eastern parts, covering Gauteng into Mpumalanga, Limpopo, as well as the eastern parts of the Free State. If you'll be in KwaZulu-Natal, you can expect just a 30% chance of showers and thunder showers into the evening. We're expecting most parts of the southwestern areas to be clear with warm temperatures. Partly cloudy conditions will only dominate over most parts of the Eastern Cape into Free State, as well as parts of the southern areas of KwaZulu-Natal. And once we get to Monday, we're expecting an isolated to a scattered chance of showers and thunder showers to be mainly over the central parts, mainly scattered over the Eastern Cape. For the southwestern parts, you can expect warm temperatures with just a 30% chance of showers and thunder showers into the southern parts of the Northern Cape. And that's it from our weather. Do stay tuned.
As the day unwinds and the news cycle comes to a close, we thank you for your audience. Wishing you a phenomenal weekend ahead. And until next time, from myself, Becky, and the team, stay ahead of the curve. Good night.